Deep inside you right now, an incredible system is working. This is your immune system. It's a complex network of cells, tissues, and organs. They all work together to keep you healthy. Think of it as a highly organized army. This army is always on alert, ready to defend you. Threats are everywhere, in the air you breathe, the food you eat, and on every surface you touch. Without this guardian, life would be very short. The human immune system is a marvel of biology. It is a collection of hundreds of tiny components, and even two large organs. It has its own transport network, like highways in your body. Every day it produces billions of fresh cells. Each new cell is a soldier, ready for duty. These cells are organized with amazing precision. They know their roles, where to go, and who the enemy is. This internal universe is constantly buzzing with activity, all to keep you safe. What exactly does this incredible system protect you from? The list is long and quite scary. It fights off tiny invaders like bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. But the immune system also has another crucial enemy, cells from your own body that have gone wrong, like cancer cells. Your immune system is your first and often best defense against them. Prepare to be amazed by the unseen guardian within you, fighting for your life every second of every day. Imagine you are going about your day. Suddenly, a sharp object grazes your skin. Ouch! A small cut appears. It might bleed a little. You might put a plaster on it and forget about it. For you, it is a minor inconvenience. But for the microscopic world within your body, this is a major event. This simple cut is not just a break in your skin, it is a breach in your body's primary defenses. Through this newly opened breach, unwanted visitors begin to arrive. These are bacteria. They are everywhere in our environment, on our skin, on almost everything we touch. Most of the time, our intact skin keeps them out. But now, the barrier is broken. These bacteria see an opportunity. If left unchecked, they can cause serious infections. The moment they cross the broken skin, the alarm bells start ringing. The invasion has begun, and your body knows it. The cells that were damaged by the cut release a flood of chemical signals. Think of these signals as distress calls, an urgent SOS. These chemical messengers spread rapidly through the surrounding tissue. They shout, "We are under attack. The perimeter is breached. Invaders are entering." This is the body's early warning system. It is incredibly fast and efficient. The battle for your health, triggered by that tiny, seemingly insignificant cut, is about to begin in earnest. Among the very first immune cells to arrive at the scene of the crime are the macrophages. These are the heavy lifters, the frontline brawlers of your innate immune system. The name macrophage literally means big eater, and they live up to their name. These cells are stationed in tissues throughout your body, like guards at their posts. When those chemical alarm signals from injured cells reach them, they spring into action immediately. They are the first wave of defenders. What do these mighty macrophages do when they encounter the invading bacteria? They attack. Their primary method of combat is to engulf the bacteria. They extend parts of their own bodies, like giant, flexible arms called pseudopods. These arms reach out, surround a bacterium, and then pull it inside the macrophage itself. Once inside, the macrophage unleashes powerful digestive enzymes. It is a brutal but effective way to neutralize the enemy one by one. Responding to the urgent calls for backup sent by the embattled macrophages, a new type of immune cell floods into the area. These are the neutrophils. If macrophages are the heavy rhinos, neutrophils are like a swarm of ferocious, highly specialized warriors. Thousands, sometimes millions of them arrive from the bloodstream. Their entire existence is geared towards one thing: killing invaders. They are incredibly enthusiastic about this job. They are not there to negotiate. They are there to destroy. Neutrophils have a variety of aggressive tactics to deal with bacteria. They're not as selective as macrophages. They're more like berserkers on the battlefield. One of their main weapons is to vomit out a cocktail of deadly chemicals. These substances are toxic to bacteria, killing them on contact. They can also engulf bacteria, much like macrophages do, but they are often more frenzied in their approach. They are designed for rapid, overwhelming force. As the battle rages on at the site of the cut, you will likely notice some familiar signs. The area around the wound might become red, it might swell up, it could feel warm to the touch, and it will probably be painful. These are the classic signs of inflammation. While uncomfortable, inflammation is not the enemy. It is actually a vital part of your immune system's strategy. It is a clear indication that your body is fighting back hard against the invading bacteria. What causes this inflammation? One key factor is that the blood vessels near the injury site become more permeable or leaky. This allows more blood to flow to the area, which causes the redness and heat. More importantly, it allows fluid from the blood, called plasma, to stream out of the vessels and into the surrounding tissue. This influx of fluid causes the swelling or edema that you observe. This fluid that seeps into the battle zone is not just ordinary water, it is packed with important substances. Sometimes the combined efforts of macrophages, neutrophils and complement proteins, the innate immune response, are enough to clear out the bacterial invaders. But what happens if the infection is too severe? What if their bacteria are particularly nasty, or if they are multiplying too quickly? In these cases, the first lines of defense can become overwhelmed. This is when the immune system needs to call in its special forces, the adaptive immune system. The key player that bridges the gap between the immediate innate response and the more sophisticated adaptive response is a special type of cell called the dendritic cell. Think of the dendritic cell as an intelligence officer or a scout. While the battle rages, the dendritic cell is busy at the site of infection. Its primary job is not to kill bacteria directly, but to collect information. It samples the environment, picking up pieces of the dead bacteria or even engulfing whole bacteria. These pieces of the enemy are called antigens. Inside the bustling lymph node, the dendritic cell begins its search. It looks for a specific helper T cell. The lymph node is packed with millions of T cells. It needs one that recognizes the antigen fragments it carries, like finding a key for a specific lock. The dendritic cell interacts with many helper T cells. Helper T cells are commanders of the immune response. Your body has billions of unique helper T cells, each with a receptor for a specific antigen. This diversity prepares your immune system for countless diseases. The dendritic cell seeks the 1 in a million match. Eventually, the connection happens. The dendritic cell finds a perfect match. This is the aha moment. The helper T cell is activated. The newly created army of activated helper T cells does not have just one single mission. These versatile commanders divide their forces to tackle different aspects of the escalating immune response. One group of these specialized helper T cells will leave the lymph node. They travel back through the bloodstream and lymphatic system. Their destination is the original battlefield, the site of the infected cut. They are heading into the heart of the conflict, where macrophages and neutrophils might still be struggling against the bacterial onslaught. When these helper T cells arrive at the battlefield, they provide a much-needed boost. They interact with the exhausted macrophages and neutrophils. They do this by releasing special chemical signals like invigorating commands or morale-boosting messages. These signals can make the macrophages more aggressive in engulfing bacteria. They can encourage neutrophils to fight harder and more effectively. It's like a general arriving on the front lines to rally the troops. Once a B cell has been fully activated by a helper T cell, it undergoes a remarkable transformation. It stops being a resting, waiting cell and becomes a dedicated factory. Its sole purpose now is to mass-produce one specific product, antibodies. These activated B cells, often called plasma cells, are biological marvels of efficiency. Their internal machinery revs up, focusing all its energy on synthesizing and releasing vast quantities of these protein weapons. They are no longer just B cells, they are antibody-producing powerhouses ready to arm the immune system for a decisive blow against the invaders. What exactly are antibodies? You can think of them as tiny, highly specific protein supercrabs or guided missiles. Each antibody molecule has a unique shape at its tips, a shape that is perfectly complementary to a specific part of the antigen from the invading bacteria. This means that the antibodies produced will only bind to the specific type of bacteria causing the infection. They won't just randomly attach to anything. This specificity is incredibly important, ensuring the attack is focused precisely on the enemy. Just like the helper T cells, the activated B cells also begin to clone themselves rapidly. Each new clone is an identical copy capable of producing the exact same specific antibody. This clonal expansion results in a massive army of plasma cells. Usually, about a week or so after that initial simple cut, the full force of the adaptive immune response arrives at the battlefield. The area is now flooded with highly specific antibodies. These antibodies are latching onto the invading bacteria, pinching them, stunning them, and clumping them together. The bacteria, once aggressive invaders, are now neutralized and marked. Macrophages and other phagocytic cells, guided by these antibody tags, can now efficiently engulf and destroy the defenseless pathogens. What follows is often described as a massacre. The carefully prepared, specific attack overwhelms the remaining bacteria. The tide of the battle has definitively turned in favor of your immune system. With the invaders largely defeated, the cleanup process begins. Immune cells work to clear away the debris, dead bacteria, dead immune cells, and damaged tissue. The inflammatory signals start to subside. The blood vessels return to their normal state. The swelling goes down, the redness fades, and the pain lessens. Your body's natural repair mechanisms kick in. Skin cells begin to divide and migrate to close the wound. New tissue is formed. Slowly but surely, the site of the cut begins to heal. What was once an open breach and a raging battlefield is now being restored to its former state. But the story doesn't end with just healing the wound. The adaptive immune system has a remarkable feature memory.